So welcome back to another episode, and today something absolutely huge has gone down, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit, but that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the future of gaming and where it's going. But today, Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion. That's a lot of dollars. It's a big move, huge move for Microsoft. And is it unexpected? No. Did I see it happening? Yes, because I'm looking at the big picture here, like a lot of you are. We're all watching this stuff saying, what's really going on? Yes, they're buying a big studio. They got the Call of Duty on there. They got Warcraft now. They got the games that those studios make. I'm not going to talk about any controversies of the studios. That's not what we're here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the acquisition of those studios and what they mean for the big picture, for the future of gaming. Now, I got to say to you guys, what do you think is going to happen in the future from these moves? Like, is it going to become a console-less future? That's what we're going to get into here. Now, I want to state for the record that I love consoles and I love physical games. So when I'm talking about a lot of this stuff, understand that I'm not exactly happy with the future and where it's going. Okay, let's start at the beginning here. And I knew something was up. Remember last generation where they wanted to make the Xbox just online only? They tried it there and it didn't work. There was a huge backlash. So they knew coming into this generation, they want to do that, but they're like, no, we can't do that yet. So both companies, Sony and Microsoft, released their brand new consoles and they were split. So the PlayStation 5 there had a console that had a disc, so you could have physical media, and one that was digital only. Xbox Series X had the exact same thing, two models. That's on purpose. That's on purpose. That disc system is to appease the older generation that would create a big fuss over there being no physical media, people like myself and many of you out there. And so they were like, no, you know what? We're going to do this slow. So they're splitting the market slow. It's a very interesting move. And then we get to the subscription services, which are really becoming prominent. I'm just going to pick on Microsoft for a second here because Microsoft did this big move today. And we're going to talk a little bit about what they're doing. And so it's fascinating. Game Pass has come out and boy, oh boy, is it an incredible success. And it's a service, dare I say, that I really enjoy. I pay a monthly fee and I get all these games. And I've been playing a lot of games that I would not normally play. And we're going to get into the downfalls of that in a little bit here. So it's a pretty good service, right? It's pretty interesting for anybody who enjoys it. So what Microsoft is doing is they're building up the infrastructure. And they're building it up big. They're going in making huge moves. Bethesda, thank you. Activision Blizzard, thank you. Not small companies, huge companies. Because Microsoft is playing the 50-year game. They're looking 50 years into the future. Not 5, not 6. They're looking at the long run of everything. Because do you think a company that's worth like $2 trillion doesn't have a game plan? They're just kind of winging it? No. They got it all figured out. And what they see for the future, just like Google, they see streaming services as the future. A no console future at all. Just something, but this is what's going to happen in the future. I'm going to speak for Microsoft. It's going to be, you're going to go to a friend's place. Maybe you'll bring a controller. You'll bring a controller and say, hey, let's play Xbox. And the guy's like, oh, I don't have Xbox. And you're like, don't worry, I have the controller. Just download the app. Sign in your account, and you're in. And you can stream it from any console. I'm not saying that I enjoy this idea. I'm not saying that I support this idea. I'm just saying this is where they want to go. Stadia is a failed idea because Google didn't have the idea to buy all of the companies. They weren't thinking like that. They were like, oh, well, let's do it small. Microsoft's like, no. We'll grab it all. And I think Microsoft knows that in the future, the streaming services will get better. The technology behind the scenes, so it will be lagless and all that. I don't personally believe that. I'm not saying that I do. I'm just saying that this is the plan that they want to do. They want it that you don't have to buy a console. You know, and even Sony would want that. Sony doesn't want you to, like, look at all the problems of getting PS5s into people's hands that can't get them. It's frustrating and it's expensive and it's a money-losing thing. They just want to give you the stuff with as little effort as possible, and to get your money and to get you pay as much money as humanly possible for that service. But Microsoft is trying to make their service really good and really robust with a huge amount of titles, first day titles, to make you go, I can't not have this because I need to play that game. And they're getting all of that. And they have the money behind it, which is kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous they have that much money to be able to pull this off. And it's scary. And it's not only, when I say a 50-year plan, I'm just saying that as an infrastructure idea of how long it's going to take, how slowly they're going to go. They're going to do the game side of things first. It's all going to be about the games. They're going to keep buying studios. I don't know if Sega's next. I don't know. It's always been a rumor. Maybe Sega, boom, Who knows? More companies. They just keep on adding to their plethora of powerhouses of studios that make incredible games. They're going to keep adding to that. And they're going to reach a point where they're going to feel satisfied. I don't know when that's going to be. But they're going to feel satisfied. They're like, hey, you know what? We've got the infrastructure. We've got more than anybody else. Nobody else can compete with us. Then they're going to look into the streaming services. Then they might do a move. And I know it sounds crazy. This is the future. This is where it's all going to go. Maybe they might buy Netflix. Maybe they might buy, another like a streaming service. Or maybe they might start their own, which they kind of do have. But they're going to do it on the big scale. And in the future, my prediction is this, that Xbox will be a name where you get your movies and you get your games from. You go to get everything. Shows, everything will be on one app. One app. That's it. You can watch it you can play them on your phone. You can watch it on your phone. It will be one service to rule them all, because that is their master plan. Because that's what's happening right now. That's what's happening. We are looking at a nightmare scenario looking into the future for me, that there will be no more consoles eventually. There will be no more physical media. That's going to happen. This stuff, if it's worth something now, it'll be definitely worth something in the future, because it'll become a relic of a different time. And everything is becoming streaming. Everything is becoming streaming. Look at Disney Plus. Disney Plus is a great example. All of a sudden they're like, yeah, movies, just boom, straight onto Disney Plus. Entire television shows created just for Disney Plus, and they're trying to make it bigger and better, and a service that you can't say no to. That's what they want to happen. If it happens or not, that's up to the consumers, right? So, what do you guys think? I mean, that's what I'm seeing with all these big moves, and where does that leave Sony? Where does that leave Nintendo? I'm going to just talk for Nintendo. I think Nintendo has their own little thing here going on. And I'm not knocking Nintendo. I'm not meaning that. But I'm talking about the extraordinary money of Microsoft and what they're doing right now. I mean, Nintendo can't compete with that. They could if they really wanted to buy more studios. But they're going to keep on doing what they do. They're going to keep on doing because it's not failing them. And they have this niche part of the market. And they have a lot of goodwill they built up over the years. They got Mario, Metroid, Zelda, Kirby. They got the Smash Brothers. They got so much good stuff going on there. And that makes a lot of people happy. So people will maybe continue to buy the consoles going forward. Could you imagine a Nintendo console-less future? That would be weird. I can't even comprehend it. Microsoft, I can see that for you. They're that style of company. Nintendo, that'd be a little sad. But so I think Nintendo's always going to have a place doing their own thing. Their own thing, whatever that may be. Sony's the really interesting one, because Sony, they're a great company and they have some great IPs. Oh my God, God of War. Just the list goes on, but they don't have the money of Microsoft, and that's concerning. And I'm stretching it here, and I get no pleasure out of this. I'm not a Sony fanboy or Nintendo fanboy. I like all these companies. I'm a Microsoft fan. I like all of these companies, and I like them all competing because that makes us get better games. But could it be, and I don't want to suggest this, but I guess, maybe one day Sony, their great games that they create will come onto PlayStation 5, but will also be released on Game Pass. I'm talking about the future Game Pass, not the one today. Like, we're talking like a long ways away. Could that be a possibility where they go the way of Sega, where they're still a great company, but they don't make hardware, they just make games? Could that be the future? Oh my God. As I say, this is a talk about the future of gaming and where it's looking like it's going. And I get no pleasure out of it. I told you that. I get no pleasure out of it. It's really, really scary. And I wonder if that is really going to be the case and if some of these things will come true. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. What is the future of gaming? What does it look like for you? Are you scared? Are you excited? Do you know what? I've talked to a lot of people that are like, you know what? I don't want the stuff. I don't want all the the special editions. I just want the game. I want to play it and have that experience and not to clutter my room, and not to have a game room or anything like that. I mean, that's legit. If you feel that way, I get it. I come from the physical media time. I think a lot of us do. And so imagining a future where that may not exist is really hard to wrap your head around. And it's a scary one, especially, I don't like the Stadia prediction from Microsoft, but it's not out of the realm of possibility, is it? It's not out of the realm of possibility, for sure. But Microsoft is buying things and studios, and they're doing it in the big way, man. $68.7 billion. That's not much for Microsoft, but it's a huge move. That's a monumental shift in the gaming industry as we know it. And you see all the different companies out there, Bandai Namco, putting their games onto Game Pass. I think everybody's starting to go along. Do you understand? The river's starting to flow a certain way. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I'm sitting in my dinghy, loving it. I'm just going along for the ride. I'm trying to understand. I'm like, is this the way it's going to go? I don't know. I hope it's not as strange as that, but it probably will be because life is strange. That is for sure. So anyways, guys, until next time.